Hi everybody, welcome to Prompts for Bard and ChatGPT. We are going to talk today about how to use prompts in business and for personal use. And guys, this is so exciting. It's a game changer. I don't know if you guys have gotten on and started playing, but it's an amazing tool, and we're going to go over some ethical and pinpointed ways to use it so they can move much faster and can move in integrity as well. So just to start, this document that goes along with that, this is not to be reproduced without my written consent. So you can email me if that is something that you're interested in. And this is not intended, it does not constitute legal advice or business advice. And if you are watching this or reading the document that goes along with it, you must do your own independent research and consult a competent attorney for any legal issues and competent experts for business and professional advice. And as long as you keep that in mind as you listen, we'll be okay, because this is just the state of play of where things are at. No, everything that I say is as of the date of making this video, and AI is moving so fast right now that things are probably going to change in another couple of weeks or months, and we have to stay really on top of it. So this is a game changer. And what we're going to discuss in the course today is the differences between Bard and ChatGPT, their uses and capabilities. They do text to text and text to code. They are working on expanding that right now. If you Google it, you'll get the updates. There are some limitations. There are some copywriting issues that are coming up that people are starting to talk about, and those are things that you have to vet with a professional in law. You have to consult a lawyer for that. And there are fact-checking issues, and we're going to go into detail on how you can use it in your business, how you can use it for personal use, and we're going to start delving into prompt engineering, which basically is how to craft a question so you get a good answer from the AI. And then we're going to talk about some sample prompts. Okay, so before we start, some of you may know who I am and some of you may not. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then we'll dive right in. I'm Beth Rosen. I'm a #1 best-selling author and an award-nominated filmmaker. I own my own company, Signature Beth Productions, which is focused on content creation for media, film, TV, and digital platforms. And we also include services like coaching, mentoring, workshops, and courses, and I'm available for keynotes. I'm a screenwriter, an actress, a songwriter, an artist, a filmmaker, keynote speaker, a social influencer, a thought leader, and I'm in development on various TV, film projects, and scripted, unscripted, and animation. So creation is, that's where I play. So this is very, very exciting to me, how to create with AI. I'm a graduate of the Wharton School of Business, University of Pennsylvania, and Columbia Law School. I'm a certified knowledge broker, and I'm a certified professor of yoga. I'm also a trained healer, and I've studied with world-renowned masters in various healing modalities. And yes, I have lived many lives in this one life, and I'm not done yet. All right, so let's jump in. Bard versus ChatGPT. They're both generative AIs. And whether you go with Bard or ChatGPT is really up to you, and I suggest you play around and see which one is better for you. They're based on data sources. Bard is Google's AI. It's trained on a massive data set of text and code, which includes information from the internet. That's very important. Whereas ChatGPT is trained on a predefined set of data that only goes up to September 2021. And that means you can't get up-to-date data. Now that's as of the date I made this video, so that may change going forward. And internet access is also important. Bard has real-time access to the internet, which means it can craft responses from real-time information. It has search capacity and is best for current information, market data, and forecasts. ChatGPT doesn't have access to the internet. It's got this predefined set of data that it's working off of. So it only crass responses from the data that it was trained on. So you have to keep that in mind. Bard is free as of now, and ChatGPT has a free and paid version. So if you keep listening, I have a gift for you at the end. Don't worry if you're taking notes and you can't take down everything. There's a gift at the end, and I'll show you how to get it. I included for both websites, the official site. Both are really good. I play with both of them and I bounce back and forth. If you're doing anything related to business where you need up-to-date data, as of right now, I think Bard is the better place to go because it can give you up-to-date data. And I really like ChatGPT for generating documents and social media posts. I go back and forth between them. So I invite you to play. The really cool thing about Bard is it has search capability. It's by Google and it takes search to the next level. So whereas you used to search for something, you can search for something and then ask it to do a cost comparison or compile data or analyze it. You can ask it to compare. And sometimes I just playing around with it and it would literally respond in a chart for me. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And it's really, really fast. So you can use it in both business and personal. Let's talk about those uses. So if you ask the AI a question, it answers questions, it generates text, it even translates languages, it writes creative content, which is where I play the most. It brainstorms ideas, it outlines documents, it generates keywords for SEO optimization, and it can generate a course and curriculum and collaborate with you. It can write, it can debug code, it can revise, organize, compile, and clean up data. And it can actually synthesize, analyze, and interpret data. You could actually put in a link and ask it to read the link and synthesize, and it makes recommendations on that data, or you could actually direct it to make recommendations, and you can comparison shop. So these are really cool things. Both of them move at warp speed. You type in your question, your prompt, and within seconds you have this full answer that you will have to keep going back and forth with the AI on, but its response time is very quick. It can help you draft things. It gives you focus and direction, so it can support you in business and your personal life. And you will have to learn how to refine your prompts, which is the direction you give the AI to get back a good response. So you tweak, you optimize, and this is an AI, so you have to bring all of you to it. You have to bring in your own expertise, your personal touch, and we'll go over how you do that to some extent in this video. Now you have to be careful because sometimes AI makes a wrong turn. Like you type something and it misunderstands your prompt. Like it seizes on one word and it spits out something that's just not what you want. So you don't get upset, just correct and continue. It's part of the experimental phase of AI and it's based on what you wrote. So it focused on the wrong thing. So you just go and edit the prompt or refine it and give it a new prompt and give it more direction. And that's part of prompt engineering is how do you give the AI direction? Like how do you craft a response? And so we're going to talk about that human AI interface. When you're asking it questions, you have to give it specific directions to write something, right? You have to give it context. If you want to use it to generate business documents like reports or keynotes or investor decks or agendas, you have to start giving it context so it can give you a response within that context. You can use it to edit your documents. You can cut and paste and say, please edit this for these reasons or to reflect ABC or XYZ. You can use it to research things. You can, if you don't like the response you're getting, then you give it a new response. You keep refining it and you make them more concise and more focused and bring more of you to the response. Like I said, Bard is connected to the internet as of right now. ChatGPT is not. up to date. It only goes up to 2021. So if you want current news or developments or research or marketing information that's relevant and current, you have to go to Bard to do these searches. That may change in the future, but as of right now, that's state of play. So the really cool thing about it is it's like a chatbot. You can talk to it in plain English or whatever language you're in. I haven't actually played with that, but it does say that it translates languages. And you don't have to know code or how to do it. Like you just talk to it like it's a casual friend or a business associate, an assistant, a customer service bot, and you just give it parameters and specific directions to get better responses. And it's kind of cool because you don't have to sit at a blank screen anymore. You don't have to get creator's block because you could go straight to AI and start that collaboration process. If you're not clear about what you want or you don't understand something, you can use the AI to learn about topics and then refine your prompts with that knowledge, and then it can sort of spark something and you can go off on your own tangent, or you can start going back and forth with the AI to go to the next level. And you just tailor your prompts to what you need and give it as much guidance as you can, as if you were giving someone an assignment and they don't know anything about what you're talking about until you give it direction. And once you give it direction, they have access to the database and they're, oh, okay, this is what you want and this is what I can give you. But you have to give them the direction of what you want. It's like an assignment to an assistant or an employee or to a customer or a customer service rep, or you're ordering something. You have to tell them what you want, right? So part of getting focused is getting clear on who, what, why, when, how, where. What is it that you want? Who is it related to? Who is it serving? Why do you need this information? When is the event happening? Where is it happening? How many different ways can you define this, or how many solutions are there? How many? And those are issues that you can sort of kind of focus the AI on. So we'll go a little deeper now. So get creative and get going. And let's dive into writing prompts, right? So you need to be very specific, right? You provide context. Like I need a blog about XYZ concept, and I want, this is my audience, and you can give it so much information that it'll give back to you the response that you want. You can revise it with further prompts and instructions. If you don't like the response, you could stack your prompts on top of each other, and you could tell it the length of the response. If you start to play with it, you'll notice it just kind of spits out stuff and you're like, oh, that's amazing. It's so fast, but I don't want to read all this stuff, and neither does somebody who I'm giving this to. So you tell it the length of the response you want. Do you want it a page? Do you want it 500 words? Do you want 10 tips, 5 secrets? We have 10 slides, and that way you give it the length. You also tell it the style. Do you want concise bullet points? Do you want short paragraphs, long paragraphs? Do you want headings and subheadings? Do you want to use statistics or little vignettes? What about personal experiences where you actually tell them some things and say, can you, give me a response that includes these personal experiences? You can make it serious. You can tell it to make it funny. You can tell it which perspective, like write as if you were talking to a customer and you, or I'm writing a speech and it has to be from the standpoint of I. So those are some different things that you can do. And you can provide the format. Write an investor deck, a keynote presentation, write a blog, a script. You're going to tell it to write a code. So that's the format and that's the context. And that goes into the prompt that you're giving the AI to get a good answer. So let's take an example. Like say I want to write a blog post. So a sample prompt would be write a blog article. And when I say prompt, this is what you actually type into the prompt box for the AI, whether it's Bard or ChatGPT. Write a blog article about 5 ways to stand out from the competition in the job market using concise short sentences, bullet points, headings and subheadings with hypothetical scenarios, and a bit of humor. So I got something back and I was like, whoa, it's way too long. And how come they didn't talk about, common mistakes and mishaps people like go through when they're doing this? So I asked it, just add common, I gave it a direction, add common mistakes and mishaps and keep entire article to 1,000 words, which it did. And then I looked at some of its humor, and some things are funny, but other things I was like, like that doesn't sound so good. So I said, make it more concise and use statistics on what employers are looking for. Delete these two, things that didn't really feel right to me, the references, and replace with researching your interviewer ahead of time and finding common ground to talk about. So I think that's really important. I didn't see it in the response because I didn't give it enough direction. I didn't tell it I was really kind of talking about interviewing. And so I just put it in here. And then I said, I wish readers good luck at the end of the blog, and take a more serious tone and make it less cheeky humor. And it did that. And so that was a little more honing that I did to get a blog that was more in line with what I wanted. So here's what you have to remember. Garbage in, garbage out. It's an AI. If you are not specific and you're very general, you want to get general back. It's just going to be, kind of spinning around on the topic, but without any substance. But if you're more detailed with your prompts, you want to get better and more specific AI responses. So you want gold nuggets in to get a lot of gold nuggets out. That's the key here. So be specific, add a topic about something, you put it in, provide sources for the data. This is so important. If you ask it to do something and it's giving you information, you want to know where it's drawing that information from. Where is it pulling it from? So ask for sources for the data and it will give it to you and you can check it, which we're going to talk about momentarily. So like I said, you do not have to worry about a creative block anymore because you can use the AI to start the creative prompts back and forth. Like, tell me some ideas about creating a course about XYZ, or I need to write an email to a customer about this. Do you have any suggestions? And that immediately starts the conversation going within seconds, and then it can trigger and spark something in you, and then you can go back and forth with the prompt. So there's no reason to sit and stare at a blank screen anymore. There are so many different ways you can use AI, and that's why I put this slide in so you can look at this. But there are some limitations. And the funny thing is, AI sometimes hallucinates. It makes up facts that aren't there. They're just not true. And the thing is AI doesn't know if it's right or wrong. It just gives it to you. It has no idea if what it says is right. And you can sometimes tell right away, but sometimes you can't. And that's where you come in. That's one of the limitations. I want to talk about how to do that. Another limitation sort of pops up around intellectual property issues. And this is just starting to get a lot of attention because this is an AI. It's not a human being creating stuff. So there are a ton of issues that are popping up, and you're going to have to consult a lawyer, preferably an intellectual property lawyer who's up to date on AI. But I'm going to just give to you some of the things that came up on the internet. So on March 16th, 2023, the U.S. Copyright Office launched a new artificial intelligence initiative, and they also put forth copyright guidelines for works containing AI-generated material. They issued a statement of policy on whether works consisting of both human-authored and AI-generated material may be copyrightable, and they're proceeding on a case-by-case basis. So I'm going to include in the accompanying keynote presentation some links for you to get up to speed. They're the links that they put on the U.S. Copyright Office site, and you can learn a little bit more about it. And if you have questions, you can ask a lawyer. Since they are proceeding on a case-by-case basis, it will be interesting to see what they come up with when you're going back and forth and how much information is put into the prompt, or if you like take something that is copyrighted by you and you ask it to revise it or condense it to bullet points, etc. So all those issues are very relevant today, and they're going to be addressing them on a case-by-case basis. So I suggest you get up to speed and consult a lawyer. Another issue is, remember, AI draws from databases, right? And it may pull up information from websites with copyrighted materials, but it doesn't currently know as of this moment. They may change to us in the future, I don't know. But it doesn't let you know that it doesn't know, and it doesn't let you know if that content is subject to intellectual property rights like copyright and trademark in its responses to your prompts. So this is a big limitation right now of AI, and it's currently your responsibility to make sure that you're not infringing on somebody else's copyright. Just like when you go do a search on the internet, like if you go to a website, usually there's a copyright notice on the website, so you have some sort of guidance, oh, this is copyrighted material. But if you ask the AI for a recipe, and what if it draws it from a TV show, or you ask it for advice and it's from a copyrighted podcast or something like that. So these are issues that are coming up that you have to explore and make sure you're not doing. And again, you have to talk to a lawyer about that. I'm not giving advice on that. And these are just issues that are popping up everywhere. People are like, oh, what if I do this, or what if I do that? And so that's a state of play. These are the issues that are coming up, the questions that are coming up. If, I did an experiment. I asked Bard, and this is an example where it took a wrong turn, but I was really glad it did. If you ask Bard if the text it generates is copyrighted, it claims it is copyrighted by Google and gives certain fair use exceptions. So that's very interesting. I was like, oh, so everything that it generates is copyrighted by Google? I'm like, well, that's an interesting issue. If you ask ChatGPT if the text it generates is copyrighted, it claims that it's not. It's not copyrighted, it's not trademarked, but the underlying code and parameters used to train it is owned by OpenAI. So that's another issue that you may want to consider when you're bouncing back and forth between ChatGPT and Bard. And if you have questions, definitely consult a lawyer. This is not legal advice, not intended to be legal advice. These are just the issues that are in play because AI is moving so fast, and obviously there are these issues that are popping up, and a lot of issues, but these are two limitations that people are sort of grappling with right now, including the Copyright Office. So, the speed is amazing. You can actually get answers really quickly, but equally important is the integrity issue. And that's where you come in. You have to fact check. You have to determine if something's false or if it's true, and that involves research. So this like amazing tool is a collaboration. It's a partnership. It's not a substitute for work. You can't expect the AI to do all the work for you. You get an idea, you write a prompt, you do prompt engineering, you craft it to get a better response. AI gives you that speedy response, and then you have to do the work to make it better, to make sure you're not infringing, to revise it, to infuse all your experience and wisdom, and it's not the AI that has to come out of this back and forth. So let's look at this. AI is like an assistant, right? You can view it as an assistant. It can organize and consolidate. It can expand something you're working on. It answers your questions, and you can be drafting, collaborating, and you could ask it a question, and that can give you clarity. It can search its database, data banks. It can search its data banks. It compiles, it writes and edits, it converts, it codes, it summarizes, it drafts, has database access that you may not have at the moment. It's got this incredible speed processing, but it has no discernment of right or wrong. And then there's you. You're the guide with the tools. You have knowledge, you have expertise, you have experience. you are a creative person, you can draw on that creativity, and you have research ability. You hopefully have discernment of right and wrong, and you can fact check and verify what AI gives to you. You can work and craft your prompts. That's prompt engineering. You can learn how to do it properly to speed up the process and get better results. And you can experiment as you go along. And you need to stay up to date as to the developments in AI and some of the limitations and issues. That is your responsibility. And then there's you as a person, your humanity, your compassion, your responsibility not to put things out there that can harm someone, or to offend, or to do a demo without first, running it through yourself, because you don't know what the AI may actually spit out, and it may not be something you want to show while you're demoing. So those are things that fall within your purview, within your realm, and you have to be aware of that when you're working with the AI. Go to ethics, truth, go to your heart, review it, revise it, and edit it. That is part of this process. When you do the work, you get better results. You can be specific on the first prompt, or you can start prompt stacking and go, more detail, more detail, more details, narrow and refine. So let's go over some business uses. I'm not going to go over all of them because it's going to take too long, and you will be able to get copies of these slides. So just some simple prompts just to get you idea. Get you going. I'll go over a few of them. You can say to Bard or ChatGPT, and you have to give it context, like all that stuff we talked about, format, tone, to write in your voice, not someone else's voice, to be more serious, statistics. That's the context, right? But you can ask it to write a business plan for a company, a marketing strategy, a sales pitch. You can ask it to write a press release, and you have to give a lot of context for that. Who, what, why, when, where, how comes into play there. You can create a website on a topic or for a company. You can create a blog post. You can create a social media campaign or an email campaign. You can write a newsletter and write a YouTube video about a topic. You can write a code for a game or a website or a company, something you're working on. So there's a lot you can do. Some business prompts you can use with context. Write an investor deck for a product or service. Write a slide, like go to this specific slide, right? The concept slide or the problems or solutions, and give it a lot of context of what you want. And so it will just generate that one slide. This is the format part of the prompt. You can say, generate a code for an app that does this. Generate a code for a computer game that does this. And then whether that code is owned by you or Bard or ChatGPT or somebody else on the internet, those are the issues that come up that you have to explore with your attorney. So these are issues that come up when you ask it to do things. You can ask it to create a computer game about something, prepare a meeting agenda for a board or a team, or a presentation you're doing, a summit. You can ask it, hey, what is the global market revenue for XYZ industry? Or create a customer script for XYZ company about a product and give it context. Write a keynote speech with slides on some topic. Those are some typical things that you can start doing with business. You can use it to write emails, and say you have a customer that something bad happened and they're angry, they got a product or they didn't get delivery, and you want to, they're upset about it. So you can use AI to help write an email that tailors a response to what happened. You can also alert them to a discount, like for a limited time, or new developments related to their business that can help them. So there are some email prompts here that you can take a look at. And my favorite is write a thank you letter to a customer, speaker, or professional colleague that has just done something nice for you. And you can tailor that with your prompt engineering, with the who, what, why, when, how, and these are just some examples. And you can write reports, You can take a look at these as well. Some uses for business. We talked about some of them earlier, but AI is relevant today, right? I mean, you can't ignore it. So you may be asked to write a presentation about how AI affects your business or affects school or college or anything you do, and you don't have to sit there at a blank page. You can actually start working with the chat GPT or Bard and go back and forth with some suggestions. You can write proposals, you can do invitations, and you can actually do data analysis, like find the latest trends or problems facing your customers or your competitors. So if you're working on something, that could give you a little bit of an edge in writing something. You can analyze data from customer feedback. You could help it to ask it to help you write a course. And the thing now about courses and continuing education is everybody has access to these AIs now. So everybody has access to the information. And the way that you will be head and shoulders above the rest is infusing your experience, your wisdom, your being, on top of the developments and giving your customers or the people you're working with or your fans a transformative experience. So it's not just AI and it feels like you. That's the key. So here are some sample prompts for business, and this is more on the management level. You could take a look at some examples. I mean, get creative how you work with that. But there's an interesting way you can work with AI. You can take it to the next level and ask it to assume that it's this role. Like, say you want to know what working woman struggling with a problem would want from your product, like that addresses that problem. So you can tailor your marketing campaign towards that. Like, it can draw on databases and give you a response. Assume you're a customer who's upset about these limitations on a product. What would they be looking for? And then you can use that to help you address the concerns and make a better product, make a better widget. So these are some creative ideas that you can use in business, and you can get a copy of the slides. So don't worry if I move too fast for you. So you know what you're working with in the company, and you know what has to be addressed, and you start to give it more prompts, more context, the format, how long you want it to be, the topics, and that's how you get a better response. So here's another example of an investment deck slide for market competition. And this is just an example. You can go much deeper, but this is just giving you some ideas to go forward. But again, as of right now, you have to check your data. You can't assume it's correct. Remember, AI hallucinates. And so whatever it gives you, you always want to ask for sources for the data, even if it's an afterthought, like you've done 3, 4, 5 prompts and you're like, what are the sources of this data? And then it'll give you that. And that will help you go fact check. You can go straight to those sources. If it tells you where the company, where the information is coming from a survey, the World Health Organization, et cetera, you'll be able to craft that and put it into the slide or presentation, and it gives it credibility, right? But you have to go fact check everything. You can't assume anything is right. So again, with all of this, you can go deeper with the who, what, where, why, when, how, and you just experiment and play. Some personal uses for this are kind of exciting to you. You can write all sorts of stuff, but again, there's that copyright issue that you have to vet with your attorneys or attorney. And you can even ask it to help you prepare for an interview or job role at a specific company. And if you know who you're meeting, you can tailor it to that. You can tailor it to the role that you're interviewing for. You can ask it how to get from A to B, the shortest route and the cheapest route. You can ask it to write a resume, and you can ask it to write a speech, or get directions or gift ideas for a certain person, a family, a friend, a colleague, a boss, an assistant, whatever it is that you're working with. And you can give it context, how old, what role they play in your life, I'd be interested to see what happens around Christmas time when, you usually wait to see what are the hottest toys. Like you might be able to ask, what are the hottest toys, the most sought after toys for Christmas this year? You can ask it stuff like that. So the cool thing is if you don't know something or you don't know how to do something, there's no reason to sit and stand by and say, oh, I can't afford a course, so I can't afford to go to the summit. I really don't know how to do this. Well, now you can find out really quickly. As long as you know how to fact check, how to work with the AIs as a collaborative process, to do the vetting and to review and revise, and to take what it gives you and take it to the next level. Like go to fact check, is this correct? But you can use AI to start educating you, right? You verify and you fact check, and now you're not in the know, you're in the know. And you can start moving forward from that place. So I was really curious. I was like, oh, I wonder if I could write a game, and code for a game. I know nothing about this. So I just gave it just some general prompt just to sort of experiment with it. And then I checked Bard and I checked ChatGPT, and they give me completely different code, which I thought was really interesting. And then, I read about the copyright issues. So I was like, oh, that's another issue. Like, who owns the code? The ability of the AI is just unbelievable. And it generates this stuff so quickly within seconds. So I'll give you an example. I was like, let me see what it does with social media. Everybody's on social media. So I give it a direction, write a concise, inspiring social media post about success. One sentence with emojis. Otherwise, it gives you this long paragraph. So you want to go one sentence with emojis, unless you're writing like a personal story or something like that, and you want it to be longer. And then, one of the AIs generated a quote that was really heartwarming. And I was like, I wonder if someone said that. And then another one generated another one. And I was like, wow, that sounds really familiar. So I copy and pasted both into the search. And one of them was completely original as far as I could tell. And I was like, wow, that's really cool that it did that. And it gave me emojis. And the other one was actually someone else's quote. And the AI didn't put the quotation marks around it. It didn't tell me who it was. But I went and did the research because I could, that's the human element, the interface, to see if what you are getting from them is, AI, is it somebody else's, is it copyrighted material? So I developed for myself, and I'm passing this on, a method to sort of work and collaborate with the AI. So you copy and paste the AI response into the search engine. And sometimes the response is really, really long. So you just take pieces of it, right? The facts that you have to check. Then you search the internet, you visit the applicable links it gives you. And then you go verify, is this true or false? Was it hallucinating? Are there facts that make no sense at all? Or that's just not right, or it's not up to date? Do you have to make an attribution to an author? Is the material copyrighted? And then you make ethical adjustments. You review, you revise, you infuse your humanity into it, your experience, your wisdom, and you edit it. So that's how you interact with the AI, and you have to use it responsibly. Know, like, and trust is very important today. People come to you, or your business or your brand or your fans come to you because they know, like, and trust you. And people are kind of wary of AI and bots, and they want authentic people. They want someone they can rely on. And if you give them this just AI response, they're going to know it's AI. And so this is why you want to infuse all your experience, your own humanity, and have it write and respond the way you would. And that's why prompt engineering is so important. So I just want to remind you, AI is a starting line and you are the finish line. So how you get to that finish line is the collaboration, the interface, the fact checking, the reviewing, the revising, the editing, the prompt engineering, going back and forth. So it's your job to make sure you finish strong, right? And if you need to find out things from a lawyer or a business professionals, and you need to do that. That's your responsibility. When you are done with the fact checking, the attribution credit, the revising, the honing, making it your own, it shouldn't read like an AI generated your content anymore. It should read like you did. And that's what's going to get people to keep trusting you. They're going to know, like, and trust you, and they're going to know that you are using this ethically, and that's the key. So you have to learn how to do that, and it's a dance. It's brand new. A lot of this stuff is experimental, and you can help the AIs. If you don't like the response it gets, and it gives you an option to say, was this good or bad, and why not, and that teaches the creators of it how to work with it and revise it. So it's in your interest to do that as well if you have time. So if you enjoyed this and you learned some stuff, I would ask that you drop a comment. I will read them. You like it, you share it, and you can actually download the slides. I'll tell you how to do that in a second. If you want to learn more about my company, there's a slide here. You're welcome to contact me. We have different services, keynote speaking. We do digital TV and film services, coaching and mentoring, and we do workshops and seminars. And we have some courses we're going to be adding to them, obviously, because of the developments with AI. There's a website for you to click on. You can click on each of these pictures. It'll take you right to the pages on the courses with the videos and what it's about. And then here's your free gift. If you want a copy of this slide presentation with some of the sample prompts, please visit this link. I'll drop it in the YouTube video. You will be asked if you want to subscribe to the newsletter. If you do, you get to download it right away. We are very busy, so we're not going to inundate you with a lot of emails, so you don't have to worry about that. So anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you have fun, and go get them, go create. Thanks a lot. Bye.